Okay, you guys out there in TV land, it's B. Riley right over here. Follow me on there if you want to see updates on projects on Instagram or boring stories or any of that sort of stuff. What we are going to be talking about today is just doing a quick review on this Epiphone CASINO. Obviously, there's a lot of chatter going around because we have, through the magic of retouched film, been able to kind of step back into a more intimate look of the recording process of the Beatles during the later years. So a lot of people are really re-examining these all over again, especially young people, which is rad because, you know, them young people are good. You're going to need them for the rocking and the rolling in the near future. Gotta pass the torch, motherfucker. Sounds that I ever heard clearly. What I really mean to say is when I was extremely small, like, you know, freshly baked, my parents brought me home from the hospital in a 1971 Volkswagen bus, which I'm sure was very safe. And in the back of this particular vehicle, what I often heard was constantly on this 8-track player that my parents had was just Beatles' greatest hits, going round and round and round. But the Epiphone CASINO always occupied a little shelf in my heart just because of that. Okay, now the thing with the Casino is that it's kind of difficult to look at this thing objectively. The reason is that we have so much scrutiny for every new product that comes on the market, but when we get something that has that inherent classic that was first viewed in the arms of, say, John Lennon or George Harrison, it's pretty difficult to look at it in a pragmatic way, but we'll try to break it down for you as much as we can. The guitar is extremely playable. It's very, very happy. It has a very nice neck taper. It's a little wide as you get down to the nut, and it's a little flat in the back. Kind of has a Sheridan feel there or a dot feel. However, the one thing about the Casino that differs greatly, and a lot of people don't understand this, or I've had a lot of people tell me that the Sheridan is essentially a Casino with a dolled up triple binding and a larger headstock. But if you actually feel the neck on the Casino, what you feel is a faithfully recreated, though not be it broken in, Epiphone CASINO neck that you might find on a Gibson 330 or a vintage Casino, because they were essentially siblings. However, with the Sheridan and the Sheridan 2, the problem that I have in contrast between the Casino and the Sheridan is that the Sheridan has an almost deliberate set of shoulders on the back of the neck, right down to where you're about at the 5th fret. It makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, I'm sure some people probably would prefer it, and there might be some great added benefit for the jazz cats, but the brutal honest truth of it is, I can't get around it. No matter how good it sounds, it just isn't very comfortable to play. Tuners are good. Intonation's easy to set. It doesn't seem to fight you. Now, here's the downside. Durability. It isn't durable. If you take this guitar out, I want you to understand that gig bags are not optional. Okay, tone-wise, like I was saying before, huge push in mids. It's got a really good bell tone. When you're playing it, the harmonics play against themselves really nice, and it's got a great rounded soft tone. It's not a lot of shrilling here. It's all the mid. That hollow space in the center kind of really rounds off the presence and the treble of the signal, and when you're playing it through, say, something like this, you might go for a slightly darker tone, but the truth of it is that when you do allow that treble to ring through, it's a very pretty guitar. I mean, if you look at it, it looks the way that it sounds. It's very pretty. However, if you are playing anything that is very distorted, be prepared, because this thing is going to be like a grenade going off when you try to add any pedal to it. So do be prepared for this thing to feedback like crazy as hell, like howling, baying, wolf sounds, like husky sounds. It's a husky. Think about it. It's like a husky. It's not manageable, it's ornate, and it will destroy your eardrums. No, seriously though, your eardrums destroyed. This guitar's biggest problem is that there's too many of them. They overproduce the hell out of these. They are everywhere. They can be had for cheap. So no matter how much money you've put into yours, there's somebody who's willing to sell it cheaper. So for a quick turn, not really a good investment. These keep getting broken, and the saying always goes, everything is common until it isn't. Because even the most bespoke things, when they are brand new, are not just one of one. They're usually one of 5, 1 of 10, 1 of 100. But as time marches forward, eventually there's going to be the last one. It's kind of like, what's that movie? So when it comes to the value of these, the big thing that you've got to remember is that there are too many of them on the market, which is exactly why you're going to be able to find one for about $350. Now, you can go up to about $450 or $550. I've actually started to see the reissues climb in cost. But typically speaking, if you keep your eyes open and you're pretty sharp about it, you can usually find one for about $400 square with a case. That's going to change though, and here's the reason why. Everything is common until it isn't. When these start to get bought up excessively and they start to disappear from the market, the prices are going to respond. Yes, they're still being made, but they're actually messing with the model a little bit too much with the, the casino coupe and stuff like that. As far as just the, tried and true sunbursts, standard Epiphone Casino standard size, it is an excellent guitar that is well worth the value. Its biggest enemy is its overproduction. It doesn't make them any worse. It just means that you can get a guitar that, to tell you the truth, by all logic, should cost about $1,300 for about $400. And in that particular case, that's about as good as you can get. I can't use them live anymore because I'm a little bit too, what's the word, animated on stage, and I fear that I would break it. But if you're not an idiot on stage like I am, then by all means, go ahead and pick yourself up on. So, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but hopefully I've cleared it up for you. And if maybe you just wanted to hear the thing be played, hopefully you enjoyed that little bit too. And if you just felt like listening to somebody just kind of jaw on about the detractions and or the good portions of this guitar, then I hope that I filled that void for you. Starting next week, we're going to be going back to more project-based stuff. Obviously, we've just finished up our 3-part Relic project, so if you have not tuned in on that, go ahead and tune in on that. It's all nitro refinish, and we get some really interesting aging cues on that guitar with some of the processes that we do. For those of you guys who are already subscribed, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate your support. If you've not subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. You can hit a button over there, or there might be a button down there. I don't know, it's a bell. It's red. Red's nice, I hear. I'm colorblind. Go ahead and hit the bell icon, and then this way you can get all kinds of fancy notifications about videos that I'm throwing out. So, from not so sunny at the current moment, Southern California, I bid you adieu. Have a wonderful afternoon, you guys, and don't forget to close the app once in a while and go practice your guitar. Go make some noise and piss off your neighbors, if you can help it. Lord knows the Beatles did. Funny how they all changed their minds, though, when they went platinum a dozen times over. Maybe that's you. Get to it. Then I'm going to stop talking because the damn plane's gone overhead. Zombieland. The Twinkie. Eventually, there's no Twinkies left, and you're screwed. So what you should do is A, eat a Twinkie, and B, you should probably be keeping your eye out for an Epiphone Casino, because now that there's a fucking motorcycle, my head is too high. I don't know why they have to fix everything on every day where I frickin' decide to roll camera. It's beyond me.